Daniel Cormier said, I think Islam should fight Conor McGregor. And he said this on his show, DC and RC. He was telling RC, you need to listen. This fight is the biggest money fight that the UFC can put on right now. This fight is already built in with a story. We know all the characters here. Conor McGregor, Khabib had the biggest fight in MMA history. Islam, the heir apparent to Khabib, it sells itself. It's automatic. It's a layup. And from that perspective, yes. From the perspective of the UFC and what's a money fight that we could make that sells easily 2.5 million, I would say, it's one of those things. However, if we're looking at the also from Islam Makhachev's perspective, because Daniel Cormier is Islam's boy and he wants to get his boy paid, that would be awesome, From Islam's perspective, 100%. I'm 100% going to take a fight against a guy coming off of a leg injury and, hasn't been active, has been, all these things that we'll get into in a second. But Conor McGregor's perspective, it's not a good idea from Conor McGregor's perspective, other than making Conor money, giving Conor more fame, things like that. Outside of that, it's not a good idea, man, because Conor McGregor will lose to Islam Makhachev. He will get hurt badly. I believe he gets stopped, finished, knocked out, or choked out, or his arm broken with a Kimura. Either way, Islam Makhachev will get his hand raised against Conor McGregor. And if this was in 2018, it's a different story. If this was in 2016, it's a much different story. But it's not. We're almost 10 years past that, We're almost a full decade. We're like 8 years past that, bro. It's about to be 2024. Conor McGregor's height, his peak, was about 8 years ago. That's a long time, guys. That's a long time. He's been through a lot since then. He's been knocked out since then. He's, lost to Floyd Mayweather since then. He's been choked out by Khabib since then. He's lost big-time fights. He lost both rematches to Dustin Poirier. He's plummeted. He has plummeted. He's still the biggest name. He still has all the fame, things like that, etc., etc. Still the bread, all that stuff, right? But ultimately, as a fighter, it's hard to say he has not regressed. If you watch that last fight against Dustin Poirier, he beat him up, bro. Dustin Poirier beat him up. Dustin Poirier, when they were in the striking, and Conor was throwing those kicks, he opened up the fight with like a spinning back kick and all these things. He did the leg kick. He opened up with like 3 long kicks. He tried to be really long in the fight and keep the range. Dustin cracked him with one right hand or whatever it was. He cracked him with a hard shot. I think it was a left hand because he's southpaw. He cracked him with the shot, and Conor was noticeably shaken by the punch. You know what I mean? He looked like Bambi. If we rewind many years ago, Conor made Dustin look like Bambi. Conor made Dustin react to his punches and gave him the better hit reactions. You get me? Now, Conor damn near looked frail against Dustin Poirier in that last fight, man. And I'm a Conor guy. I think Conor McGregor, he's like how some people say the Mike Tyson before Cus D'Amato's death is the best of all time. That's how I view Conor McGregor. I view Conor McGregor as the Conor that was disciplined, focused, training multiple times a day, didn't have a pot to piss in, was, driven and not about the money, not about the fame, not about the clout chasing, not about not drinking every night, not on Lamborghini yachts, not doing all this shit, you know what I mean? Not getting involved in that drugs and alcohol nightlife, going to MTV Movie Awards, getting into it with Machine Gun Kelly, all this stuff that we've seen, bro, punching old men in bars, throwing dollies and shit like that. All this stuff has been a descent. It has been a decline after his rapid ascend, And I think this is just a bad first fight back for Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, even Michael Chandler, bro. Even Michael Chandler is a bad first fight back against Conor McGregor. Definitely not Islam. Definitely not Islam. I don't even think against Michael Chandler. I don't think against Justin Gaethje. I don't think against Charles Oliveira. I think if we were looking at this from Conor's perspective, we have to rebuild, and we're going to go in there against the guy like Tony Ferguson, where Tony Ferguson is at now. We're going to go in there against the guy like even Bobby Green. We're going to give Bobby Green a shot. We're going to go in there against the Paddy Pimblett. Those guys that Conor is like in your mind, you're like, yeah, he's beating him. It would be crazy if he lost to any of those guys. Those are the guys Conor should be fighting. He should stay away from Beneil Dariush still, I think. That's what I think. Those are the matchups Conor should be taking. Not Islam Makhachev coming back from an injury and all these things. Inactive, da-da-da. That's makes no sense, and that is easy money on Makhachev. That's my take. Let me know if you agree in the comments. If you agree with me, disagree with me, it does not matter. Just join the discussion, and please follow for more. You are appreciated. Thank you.